You know when you go to sleep, knowing that you could have done more, knowing that you've been procrastinating and tomorrow you are behind, you will need to put in a lot more work than you did today. Well, I was in the exact same position a few years ago, and now I've overcome this challenge and taken it into something great. Now, I rarely procrastinate just because it all started in June of 2023. We were in a villa in France on vacation, and I was sitting in the sun and I was clipping motivational videos. And I really did enjoy it. But I went off of my phone and then I clicked on YouTube. And I scrolled through my recommended page and I see that TikTok had just started to pay people money or something like that, or whatever, affiliate marketing. I decided that now I'm going to start a TikTok page because this is the new thing. And I do start it. And I procrastinate. I don't do the work. I switch from one thing to another. I use this as a coping mechanism a lot of the times, because earlier that year I actually did have a history YouTube channel that had gained like 200 subscribers in a month or 2 months. But I just quit that because I got the shiny object syndrome. And you know how dangerous it can be to actually switch from one thing to another. Because every single time that you're doing that, you're actually limiting yourself and not gaining any results in the thing that you actually want to progress in. So, now we will discuss my step-by-step protocol on how to stop procrastinating forever and actually take control of your life, because with this I've built an aesthetic body. I can exercise whenever I want. It's not a problem for me. I don't struggle with consistency. I meditate. Like right now, I'm on a new streak. I'm trying to break my old record, which was 220 days in a row. Like imagine 220 days in a row doing something every single day. You probably can't think of many things that you do 220 days in a row. But I did a habit. And this is the power of this protocol. I did not procrastinate. So you have to just tune in, listen into what I have to say, put the video on full screen, otherwise it won't work. But now let's dive right into it. I've got a whiteboard prepared for you. That's why I'm going to look down a little bit, but I will try to keep the best eye contact to my ability. And if you can't really watch through all of this video, I'm sorry for you, but you're done. You have to just listen into what I have to say, and then you will never ever struggle with procrastination ever again if you just put in the work and put in the action steps. So now I'm not going to yap anymore. And how do you stop procrastinating? Well, we have to understand, why do we even procrastinate in the first place? Many people might think that you are lazy, or that you are, I can't even spell lazy. Lazy. Many people think that you might be lazy, or that it has to something with that. But no. It is an emotional problem. It's an emotional problem where when we procrastinate, it's usually not all of the times, but usually due to a sense of lack of an emotion. Like we feel bored, we feel a little bit sad, we feel a little bit empty. An emotion that distracts us from actually putting in the work. Because you know those days when you're really motivated and fired up, when you really are motivated to go out there and pursue what you wanted to do. Those are the days that you don't procrastinate. You just don't have an interest in procrastinating just because you feel good. And this is why we procrastinate. Like, we do it because there's an emotion that we specifically like don't want to feel, and that's why we procrastinate and then indulge in something else to kind of like I would say we indulge in the emotion because we think that it is going to help us and actually overcome this emotion and stop us from like being lazy or feeling this emotion or being emotional. So this is why we procrastinate. And sometimes it can also be to a lack of like focus. And another thing that I want to discuss is that we are in a high frequency state. So there are two types of frequencies. There are low frequencies and high frequencies. And high frequency states simply means that you are in a state where you have a lot of stimuli currently. Like, so for example, you're watching Netflix and then you're going on and you're scrolling on your phone for half an hour. Now you're in a high frequency state. And now it's very, very hard for you to actually get out of that, just because you've set your baseline right now to be in a high frequency state. So now to change states is very, very hard. You know, when you have been procrastinating, it's actually very hard to actually go out and work. You just can't. It seems impossible. But you know, when you are in a flow, a day where you have just put in the work, when you have been focusing on your goals or on your studies or whatever, then you have been in a low frequency state where you don't have a lot of stimuli. You don't have a lot of stimuli because you have just been focused, you've been laser focused on the task at hand. So for example, it can be finishing off your to-do list, and you actually do tick all of the 4 boxes that you have, and you just do it. You do it because you are in a low frequency state. And a low frequency state simply means your ability, not your ability, but you are in a state where you are not introducing a lot of novel stimuli. And what that means is you're not introducing a lot of new things. And that means that you are actually just focusing on one thing for perhaps an hour, perhaps half an hour. Then you're moving on to the next thing, and the things that you are introducing are healthy, are things that don't release a lot of like dopamine in the moment, that shoots up just for it to crash down, and then you're just stuck in this kind of like frequency where you're going up, then you're going down, and you just feel terrible by doing this, and then you procrastinate. So this is how we can avoid. Now, how can we avoid procrastinating with these two terms? So low frequency state and high frequency states. We need to develop a new mindset, and then I will go on to my action plan, which I should have written here. I actually forgot. But you need a new mindset, and then you can actually tackle the other things and actually start putting in the work towards this new thing that you will have in your life. And I will go about that if you feel a little bit lost and you have been procrastinating and you don't know what to choose. So this is going to be your new mindset. It's very, very simple. Stop over optimizing for emotions, because as I said earlier, once you have a goal, which I will discuss later, just stay with me and I will teach you how to actually discover your goal as well. So once you have a goal, then you will be able to focus on that. And once you stop over optimizing for feeling happy, or for feeling motivated, or for feeling fired up, whatever, you just need to put in the work towards getting a task done, getting your to-do list done, because then you will feel fulfilled. You will feel happy by extension, just because you have been putting in the work. And this is the power of actually stopping procrastinating, because you will start to shift your perception of yourself, which I also will touch on later, and your identity. It all moves in together. So stop over optimizing for feeling happy, feeling motivated, fired up. You need to rely on discipline. And I will not go very, very deep here into discipline, because I've made a 3-step guide that you can utilize today. I will link it in the description, but remember that I won't have this forever. It will be for a very, very short amount of time. But if you grab it right now and just read through it all the way, I promise you that your life will never ever be the same. So go through that 3-step guide and grab it whilst it's available. And if you are the person who wants to take it even further and level up even more, you can book a free strategy call with a link in the description, and I'll help you out. Because if you don't take action on these things, it's going to be very, very hard for you to make progress, because then you have somebody on your side who can help you. So at least go and grab that 3-step discipline guide completely for free in the description. And just a PDF you can download. It's not no email list, sign up, anything. You can just grab it. Now, I will touch a little bit on discipline as well. Discipline is specifically doing something that you don't feel like doing. It's not studying, it's not working out, it's not eating healthy, it's not waking up early, it's simply just the act of doing something that you specifically didn't feel like doing. So if I don't feel like going for a quick walk right now because I want to get into work right now, then go for a 2-minute walk if you actually want to improve your discipline, because this will help you build a foundation for you to be able to level up even further. And the reason discipline is so important is because it will allow you to slingshot and move even faster and build momentum even though you're not motivated. So let's say this. You are in a very, very hard period. You feel like the results aren't really there. You're trudging, you're thinking to yourself, do I quit right now or do I just whatever, take some time off? No. You embrace discipline. And if you need a pause, of course you can take that. But it shouldn't be relying on a basic emotion, like not feeling like doing it. So ask yourself, why am I even doing it in the first place? Now, you need to form a new identity for yourself. What is an identity? It's how you see yourself and the perception you have of yourself. So it's simply perception. And how can we control this? How do we control our perception of ourselves? The best thing you can do to create a new identity is to visualize. And the reason we visualize is because we want to get an image in our mind of where we want to end up. And I will touch on this. Here it is. I will also touch on this. It's basically the A to B transformation which you're going to visualize. So you have a goal that you've set for yourself and you have a destination of where you end up. You specifically visualize where you want to end up. So for example, when you're starting to visualize, you will actually start to form a new identity of yourself and see yourself even better than you are currently. So for example, I did this with a YouTube video of mine. I think it was in July or something like that. You can check the most viewed video on my YouTube channel, and it's actually a video about where I think it is when I speak about self-identity and the importance of viewing yourself correctly. And what is interesting is about that is I actually visualize that being the best video of mine. And this has happened tons of times, and this is just a perfect example of it. Every single time that you visualize yourself in, when you've attained the result and when you've gotten it, you will start to improve your baseline by a little bit. So what I would do is right now, you should set a goal. First of all, where are you right now? You define where you are, your A point, and then we're going to move towards B. Because this is the best thing that I've ever done to set a goal and then to work hard to achieve it. So first of all, define where you are right now and utilize humility. Utilize humility and having a student mindset. So have a student mindset that there is always more to learn and that there's always someone who knows a little bit more than you, but still be confident in the things you are doing. So be confident but still have a student mindset, because in your mind you have to be very, very strategic about this, and you have to know that I will do this. I am the person who can get this done. This is confidence. But you're not going to be arrogant, you're just going to be very, very confident. I can get this done. If someone else has done it, I can do it as well. But you have a student mindset where you think there's always more to learn and I can always be more credible and I can always put in more action. So how do you define your B point? First of all, write a list of 10 goals. 10 goals that you want to achieve. Just dedicate yourself to writing 10 goals, like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. Now that you have 10 goals, ask yourself this question: what one goal, if I achieved it today, would have the greatest positive impact on my life? And think to yourself, what goal would that be? And you think, okay, so it might be to start playing this sport or studying for a career or whatever. This is the goal that you have. Now you have defined your B point. And if you're not sure because you have 2 or 3 goals, just pick one and stick to it. Pick one and stick to it. Don't change it up. Just work with this for a month or 2 months. And if it doesn't really work or you don't see any results and you just feel like this is not really for me, change it up. It's completely up to you. But first of all, just choose one goal and then start working towards it. And now set yourself a specific, crystal clear goal. So for example, if you're getting into the gym, your goal should not be to have an aesthetic physique, for example. Your goal should be to, for example, have, I don't know what physique you want to have, but perhaps it is to have like 10% body fat, or it is to be on 60 kg bench press. You see what I'm getting at here? You want to have a very, very specific goal that you can track progress towards, and you can also set SMART goals and input-based goals. So the other 2 things I want to touch on here are actually SMART goals and input-based goals. Input goals, we will write. So the two of these are very, very important. So SMART goals are simply that you have a goal. For example, you want to get to 100 kg bench press or 60 kg, as I just described earlier, 60 kg bench press. And then you want to have an input-based goal, which can be to bench press 3 bench press sessions per week. And also to strengthen your triceps, for example, this part of your arm right here. So you want to do that. You want to have an input-based goal, which is simply the specific action of something that you take and you actually move it into the thing that you're doing. So that can be bench press 3 times per week. It can be studying before school 2 times per week. It can be studying for an hour in the weekend. Just a few things that you can do, a few habits that you can utilize to actually get yourself to do this, and so that you know what is needed to be done in order for you to accomplish a goal like that. And then you have a SMART goal, which is 60 kg bench press. Okay, so right now I'm at 30 kg, for example. How can I get to 60? Well, first of all, I have to get to 40 kg. So if I want to get to this in June, let's say, then first of all, perhaps in like April, I need to be on, let's say April, the 10th of April, I need to be, or around this date, I need to be on around 40 kg bench press for me to actually be able to track my progress sufficient to actually be able to accomplish that goal. So set yourself a few SMART goals along the way that you're actually going to have, because then it will be a lot easier for you to actually set a goal that is reasonably unreasonable. And what that simply means is that you have a goal that feels a little bit like it's almost, it feels hard to accomplish, but it's not impossible. It is a likelihood that you do it if you actually put in the work and put in the action every single day towards accomplishing it. And now, where am I? Yeah, here. And now I want to go back to the identity part. So now when you've decided, okay, so I want to get to 60 kg bench press, how you visualize this perfectly is that you specifically sit down, you close your eyes, and then you imagine, you play a mental movie. Imagine that you are in a scene in the future. You're at your gym. Perhaps you've asked somebody to be your spotter, and then you lift it off the rack and you specifically visualize you accomplishing a certain goal. So you don't visualize the lift and how hard it will be. You simply try to feel the sensation of completing the rep. So for example, when you rack the bar, like when you do a bench press, your the barbell kind of like moves in a direction like this, and when you actually unrack it right here, that's the feeling that you want to obsess over, and try to feel every single part of it. So for example, okay, so I'm at the gym, I feel extremely ready. It is a bright day and the sun is shining. I'm walking in the gym and I'm confident that today I'm going to hit 60 kg bench press. And you're walking in the gym and you greeted a lot of people, you feel very, very motivated, fired up, because this is the day that you've been waiting for. Today I'm going to complete 60 kg. And then I'm at the bench press, I listen to my music, I'm getting to a hype mood, and I feel extremely ready. And I do, and then you just, and then the last part of the visualization should be, not the last part, but one of the parts of the visualization should be the actual completement of the lift. So you think to yourself, okay, so I'm in the gym, and now I did complete the 60 kg. It felt so awesome. I'm so strong, and I am a very, very great lifter now because I've just completed this milestone. This is what you do, and then you think to yourself, what were the actions that I did take before this to actually get to the point of 60 kg. So this is how you manipulate reality to actually dictate it towards your own goals. So when I started to visualize again, I haven't actually done this in a while, but now I've started to visualize again, like for the last like week or so. And guess what? I posted a video which became one of the best performance videos on my channel. I think it actually is like the second to like fifth most viewed video on my own channel, and I started to visualize that I will get even more results now because I've been putting in more action towards my thumbnails. I've been putting in more action towards my content and everything. I try to make it as valuable as possible, and you see where I'm getting at here. You manipulate reality to actually be in favor for your goals, and you actually dictate where you want to end up, because when you dictate this in a positive manner, people will actually get inspired. You can actually do this. And if you want to get even faster progress, I do offer free like strategy calls with a link in the description. You can get it completely for free, and I'll help you out. That's all I had to say for today, and I really, really do hope that you get some value out of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.